two major questions that come to my mind right now. One, of course, is, let's say you are elected, the next governor. How are you going to work with the General Assembly? And two, now that you will be a part of this debating team, what are you going to do when you are involved? Do you have a plan of action right now?
I do. And then when you get to this position, you have to start thinking about tomorrow. And so I've thought of what I would first do as governor, as sworn in. I'm not looking to fire every commissioner because they weren't appointed by me or a Republican. We're taking a hard look right now at the sitting commissioners that are part of the structure of the Malloy administration, the ones that we can keep in place and the ones that we can bring our policies into them. So we don't just try to do a complete changing of the guard just right off the bat. And in construction, I've learned this. I've taken jobs over from other contractors, and you walk in, you need to find out what happened, you need to get in there slowly. There's different subcontractors, you'll leave them on the job. So we're not looking to polarize just because we were elected. That's the first thing, and that will go a long way also to keep the rank and file that are within those, under each commissioner, understanding that they still have their jobs, because there's a big turnover when you become governor. That's the first thing. The administration, I've already talked to some people for Commissioner of Education, and my first pick would be Jonathan Pelto, who's a complete left of me, but someone who's neck deep in education, knows the ins and outs of it, and has worked hard. So there's some people that will be chosen that may not come from exactly the world that they usually cherry pick, leaders and commissioners and whatnot. So we're putting our thinking cap on. A lot will come to us at the time, and you have a very short window to assume power from November to January. And I'm already thinking along those lines and planning out what we need. Legal counsel, first thing you need, chief of staff. So we've got our list together right now. We're watching the polls to see how we do and where we're going. And I've said it earlier, we want to run this in October on the ground. Tomorrow there's a poll that comes out, another Quinnipiac poll, and we'll see where we are with that one. We hope we break into double digits tomorrow, which will be where we want to be. The viewers need to know I have not sought public financing. Tom and Dan have received over $6 million.
You have not?
I have not. I will not. I never would. And I've been in the race over 18 months.
And you could?
Over 18 months in the race, I could have started at the beginning and gathered the money I needed over time, because I had a lot of time to do that. Whether I would have got that or not, I've always sworn I would take taxpayers. So if we break into double digits tomorrow in the next poll, we'll have done that with $20,000.
$20,000?
In 18
So you're
months.
saving people a lot of money.
They have $6 million. Those ads you're watching on TV, you paid for them. I even want to propose a law that would say Governor Malloy has his closing statement. It's legal from the Election Commission. I'm Dan Malloy, and I approve this message. And it should say paid for by Malloy for governor and the taxpayers of Connecticut, because that's who paid for those ads and to purchase the time on television, which is a reason why I also am taking a look at what's happening with being shut out of these debates. There's 7 of them. 5 of them I'll be shut out of. 2 I'm guaranteed in. One is October 16th, CPTV, Connecticut Public Television, and then London Day on October 16th at 7 o'clock at the Guard Theater, but it'll be televised and also broadcast on WNPR. And the second one is October 23rd with NBC. Tom Foley doesn't want to be in that one, so the likelihood it'll be me and Governor Malloy debating. But, it's important to understand that, and I'm a Republican, so I want the news media to have all the freedom they want, but to set a bar, some of them set it at 5%, which I made to be able to be in their debates. Others set the bar at 10%. Right now, yesterday I'm at 9%. So it's kind of funny that the only first one out of the gate out of 7 that said yes is the only station, not Channel 3, WFSB, not Channel 8. The only station that sold, or that would let me on, is the only station that cannot sell ads, public television. Isn't that a coincidence?
That's interesting. Now, right now, you have 2 debates scheduled.
Yes.
What's going to be your modus operandi? What are you going to push? I mean, obviously, you're listening to what they're saying, but at the same time, what is your agenda? What is it that you really want to get across during those 2 debates?
Well, what you always want to get across to the public that hasn't met you yet, who you are, what your policies are, what your history is, can you fulfill them, can you do them? Because they'll believe what you say, but how? And this is what we have missing right now. with Governor Malloy and Tom Foley, the how of it all. People are, wait a second, I don't believe anything anymore. How are you going to do that? So they don't tell them how. This is why they're discontented, the public, and they have such high approval ratings. I can't tell you all I'm going to do because it has to be a surprise, especially I'm the most unpredictable candidate there ever was. I ran against John Larson in 2008 also for Congress. And I was a West Hartford Town Councilor. I think I failed to mention that earlier. But you never want to tip your hand as to what you'll do. But what you should do is you should talk about the questions will come from the forum, and you can always pivot from different answers and answer them. But the big message is we are in fiscal dilemma. And not to be negative, not to blame, we are in trouble. We did not get out of trouble.
Guaranteed in the next 2 years, our state will be strapped with about a $2.8 billion deficit.
Yes.
And you're elected in 4 weeks from today, okay, as the next governor. What is the first thing you're going to do the next day?
Look at every federal program, because the federal government gives us 69 cents per dollar per capita back. We're fourth from the bottom in America of states, of 50 states, fourth from receiving back dollar for dollar what we pay the federal government. Day one, every federal program gets gone through. We take a look at every one of them. Every program we can opt out of and get out of that's not essential.
And that will save money.
That will save money. We have Senator Blumenthal, Senator Murphy. We have Congressman Larson, Congressman Himes, Congressman DeLauro, Congressman Courtney, and Congressman Esty. The whole delegation are friends of Obama in Washington, liberals, and they can't bring us back 5 cents more per dollar? 5 cents, 6 cents per dollar per capita? That would go a long way towards hitting the deficit. The most liberal state that does the most liberal policies that are so costly, you would think that this Democrat legislation could actually bring back money, but they don't.
The mislink then between...
You tell me, because no one can figure it out. How could they not bring back more? Why are we fourth from the bottom in 50 states from receiving dollar for dollar? Alaska gets almost $1 back, or whatever. The number is very high. So there's states in who proportions this out. So we need more.
Mismanagement.
So if government can't give us any more,
right,
we're going to shut down. You don't give me 5 cents, we'll shut 5 cents per capita out. We'll find a place in federal programs to opt out of, close it down wherever we can. That's the first day one. That's the first thing we have to look at. Look for those who make you do things and say, why are you making me do this? Why do I have to pay? As a governor, I have to look who's got their foot on my throat, and that will be the federal government. And I'd say, wait a second, you're not giving us anything back here, and you want us to jump through these hoops? No. Day one, Uncle Sam gets a looking over. We take a look at what we can get out of. We send them all the formalities, and all the proper people will give the federal government all through all the channels, what we're going to do, and if we don't receive X, this is where we're going.
Do you feel that the state, Malloy and company, have been giving the feds a free ride, not holding them accountable?
Again, I'll ask you to answer the question, because you have to scratch your head and wonder, how can the president right now is in Greenwich, right now, today, this moment, he's just dropped
and Malloy refuses to be there.
Well, he refuses to be there for 1,000 reasons, none of which are going to be helpful for him or the president. But beyond the politics of it all, why can't we get 75 cents or 80 cents back per capita, especially this state?
If you were to start, let's say, cutting back, would that impact jobs per se?
We're going to reach every dollar that we can that doesn't hit jobs, and that's the whole secret. To go in with an X-Acto knife, okay, and try to find a way to cut the programs, the funds, the grants, anything that doesn't impact jobs. But if it's costing us and it doesn't have a return of investment short term, we're going to opt out of it. We'll give the government a plan, our opt-out plan.